In the early 1980s, a group of city leaders came together to put a bid in for the Microelectronics and Computing Consortium. That was a conglomeration of different engineering firms that were coming together and pooling resources, specifically American engineering firms, pooling resources to become more competitive in the semiconductor industry. Japan had really taken off in the years after World War II and was being very, very competitive in the semiconductor industry. And so the American companies created this new consortium, MCC, and about 40 different cities in the United States applied. And Austin, even though it wasn't the biggest, it didn't have the strongest economy, it won the bid. And Dr. Kosmetsky actually wrote a book in 1989 called Creating the Technopolis, and that outlined his vision for a partnership between the city officials, the university officials, and private sector companies to really drive a technopolis, drive a technology ecosystem in the way they had been doing it in Austin. Shortly after MCC, IC Squared, Cimatech, these organizations promoting technology in Austin got established, you started to see more breakout companies. Dell was started, National Instruments was started, a handful of others that came out of that generation. In my day job, I work at Capital Factory, and our CEO, Joshua Bayer, wrote an essay called The Texas Startup Manifesto, and really it builds on this point that while Texas is a great place for business, it hasn't quite reached its potential when it comes to venture capital and growing really big companies from scratch. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Texas Startup Manifesto in this video, but you can check out the whole essay at texasstartupmanifesto.com, and I encourage you to do that as soon as you're done watching the video. But really, like I said, Texas is this awesome economy. You have 4 of the 11 largest cities in the United States, 4 of the fastest growing cities in the United States, all within a day's drive of each other. And really, it's that practical advantage, the geographic advantage of being able to do business in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas without really expanding your operations. You can do business in any of those cities and go back to any other city for dinner and to stay in your house. And so that's a massive, massive addressable market as an entrepreneur getting started. Texas also has the second largest number of Fortune 500 headquarters outside of the United States, or excuse me, outside of New York. And so we have about 25 Fortune 500 headquarters in Dallas and about 25 Fortune 500 headquarters in Houston. The Houston companies are primarily the energy industry. And we're also 4 of the 11 largest tech hubs in the United States. Austin gets a lot of attention, but really all cities in Texas, all the 4 major cities, are great places to build companies, are at the top of most lists, on the top 10, 15, 20 of any startup list you see for where to go build a company as an entrepreneur. And we think it's only getting better. And that said, historically, people haven't been very collaborative, and the Austin startup community hasn't worked a lot with the Dallas startup community and hasn't worked a lot with the Houston startup community. And so Capital Factory is really connecting all of those pieces together into the statewide infrastructure and network for entrepreneurs, investors to use in order to build a great company. So I'll leave it there, but that's a big part of our vision at Capital Factory. And again, you can see and learn more about that at texasstartupmanifesto.com. Thank you so much.